You'll need TSP, CeCe Caldwell's All Natural Paint in Newport Navy, All Natural Walnut Grove stain, some waxing cream, several paint brushes, a San Francisco Giants plastic cup for water, 220 grit sandpaper, and a lint-free rag. Got everything? Let's get started. This project will be finished in no time. Got your project all cleaned up, you got it ready to go. Now I'm going to just lightly sand it. This is a slick melamine, so the paint will stick, but I'm going to just put a little bit of teeth. Don't need a primer. This chalk and clay base and CeCe Caldwell paints will stick to just about every surface. So I've got my 220 grit sandpaper. I'm just going to lightly go over the surface of each of these. And that lovely fake. And then we can get started painting. I've got all 3 drawers sand, so I just took a rag and lightly wiped it off, and you can use a damp rag. There wasn't a lot of dust, so I just used lint-free cloth here. Anyhow, so I've got that all wiped off. It's time to start. So I got my Newport Navy and I poured it into a separate container. And you can see I don't have a lot of brush, and when I use CeCe Caldwell paint, a little goes a long way. So start in the middle, and I'm going to brush, you can see, all the way to one end, all the way to the other. But do long strokes, not lots of back and forth. Back and forth, just going to kind of your paint, move it around. And you can see how it is covering this ugly fake mahogany color. You can add a little bit of water to your brush if you find the paint is a little too thick. There you go. That was just the little teeny paint. I just a little bit more. Finish that drawer. We'll move on and do the rest of them. I've got all 3 drawers now, and I just want to spend a minute talking about what to do when you find things that are a little bit broken, maybe still redeemable. So this dresser, I found it on Berg. I can't remember. The drawer's kind of wonky, and one of them was kind of falling apart. So when that happens, pick up all the pieces, see what you can do to put it back together. Sometimes it's kind of like a puzzle piece. So you can see here that it didn't fit totally here with it, but it's a pretty flush fit, and when I put the dresser together, you can't really see it. Wherever the drawer face attaches to the drawer itself, the box, just go ahead and tighten those. If these are loose or even missing the sliders, find them at home repair shops like Home Depot and Lowe's, places like that. Really inexpensive, and they come in all different lengths. The thing to do is to the inside of the drawer. As you can see there's a place to tighten it in there. These were really easy fixes and didn't take me very long. Sometimes you might need a little bit of wood glue and lamp to hold it in place, but hey, fixing it only takes a little bit of time and way cheaper and more economical than buying a brand new dresser. So I've got 2 coats of Newport Navy on my drawers, and I've got them smoothed out. I lightly sanded them with 320. Now what I'm going to do is just lightly go over it with our all natural stain plus finish, and I'm going to use Walnut Grove. Now, there is no smell in this stain. I'll say it even smells a little bit like chocolate. So I'm going to just be using a chip brush here, and I'm going to load it up, and what I'm going to do is brush it on like I would a glaze, and then I'm going to use lint-free cloth. You can use a heavy-duty paper towel. Just know that the firmer that you press and the more you wipe, the more that you're going to take off. Now, I not put any kind of barrier down here. The stain will soak into the paint. So if you want some movement and a little more control of where that stain goes, then you'll want to put like a clear coat of all natural glaze down, and that will prevent the stain from penetrating. Okay, so here we go. So again, I'm going to start, I like to start in the middle, go all the way up and all the way down. And since this is a relatively small surface I'm working on, and I'm going to have some drips here too, and I'll fix that. Remember, I'm the drip queen. I'm going to probably just do the whole thing at once. I had quite a bit of stain on. You want to work rather quickly because the longer that it sits, the more it's going to soak in. So it looks rather dark right now. I'm going to make sure that all of the paint is covered with it, and then I'm going to wipe it back, and so it'll kind of have just a little hint of some of that stain, but what's going to be left is like kind of a gritty dark a little bit. So if you can see that there, I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. Now I'm just going to kind of keep wadding this up and working on a dry part. You know, here's a trick too. If your rag gets really loaded up with a lot of stain, you can actually use it as an applicator rather than just putting your brush back in. Now you see I'm just really lightly kind of going over areas where I think there's a little too much and just kind of eyeballing it. We're done. That's how easy that was. So I'm going to go on, do the other drawers, and we'll work on the dresser. Finished already. It took me no time at all to transform a free piece of furniture into something beautiful. For more details on how to transform this dumpster dive find, please visit Redouxinteriors.com. If you like what you see, subscribe to my channel at Redouxinteriors and subscribe to my blog where there are always great dumpster dive finds and makeovers.